I'm Dr. William Cullen. I work at Johns Hopkins Community Physicians at Fulton as a general internist. Well, I think before we started the program, I thought, oh, this is going to be a real pain in the neck. It's going to take up time. We're going to have to, delay. And I'm a very efficient person. I work very efficiently, and I move really well, and I finish my day on time. And I thought, this is going to get in the way. And I realized it didn't. And actually, a lot of times it's been helpful for people who come in and are nervous or scared or have quote-unquote white coat syndrome. If you repeat their blood pressure, you find that most of them are actually okay. And what I do is I work it into my work schedule. So what I do is the medical assistant will do the initial value, and if it's high, I'll wait until the visit's over, until I've done everything, and then I sit the patient down, we hook them back up, we watch the monitor, have their feet flat, don't talk, and then I just do my other work for 5 minutes and come back and it's done. And I get a better reading most times, which has been very helpful. One, it helps, helps our statistics, and two, it helps reinforce that the patient, doesn't have white coat syndrome. They just need to relax, and they need that time to relax, and that's been helpful. It's not usually a problem. I did notice that some of the medical assistants will do a blood pressure, and if it's high, they'll go back in immediately and do redo the blood pressure and get the averages, and I think that's just too soon. Okay. And I found that actually interrupts workflow. So I would rather go in and see the patient. The way I usually work it is I'll do my interview, and then I'll have the patient undress and do what I have to do and come back. And I'm probably one of the few people that doesn't document in the room, so I come back to my office, do all my documentation and prepare stuff. And that 5 minutes that they're taking the blood pressure gives me time to do all the preparation I can to finish the visit. And I found that actually, when I've gone back sometimes and repeated the blood pressure again after somebody's done the average at the beginning, it's actually lower at the end. So my recommendation is to do the blood pressure average at the end of the visit rather than at the beginning. It just seems to work out a little bit better, and it gives the person time to calm down. People get really nervous. Everybody comes in and they think they have something horrible happening to them, or they're scared, or they're anxious. And many times by the end of the visit, you've calmed them down, you've reassured them, and they just feel better. And that alone will bring their blood pressure down. And sometimes I found people who are checking their blood pressure at home are doing exactly what you guys have been recommending. They're hooking up their blood pressure, saying they're putting the arm in, and they're relaxing while they do it, and they come in with their blood pressures, and their blood pressures when they come in are lower than what we get initially in the office. So I think what I found from this study is that, I used to do blood pressure, we used to rush in, do the blood pressure, get it all done, and then just sort of say, oh, you've got high blood pressure, and just neglect it. And this way we're finding that it actually is more important the way you take your blood pressure. I think if you have any trepidation about it, let that go. I think it's been a good additive to the workday. I don't see it as been an impediment at all. So I think at first we all had this little trepidation. It was going to be an imposition. It's going to be a pain in the neck, but it's actually worked out just fine.